Brad, what are some things that you were not happy about last year that you really want to focus on with your guys this year?
Yeah, when you look back and you self-scout yourself and you look what you need to do better, obviously third down defense, and there were some specifically towards the back end of the season, third and long situations, especially extra long, was an area that historically, if you look, we've been really good. And we were not anywhere close to the standard that we need to be at. And it cost us, and when you give up third downs, you extend drives, and extended drives leads to points. It leads to less opportunities for the offense. So obviously that's going to be a primary focus. Again, the year before in 22 was sort of our best year ever in third down defense, and there's a correlation to how well we played as a defense. So we need to get back there.
Brad, nose tackle. There's some cross-training going on now that Josiah's out for the year. How do you feel about that group collectively that they'll be able to replace that loss?
Yeah, no, you know what? Obviously, when you lose a player, some other guys have to step up. That's the reality of sport. That's the reality, and we've dealt with it every year here at some position or another. I feel really good. If it was going to happen at a position, that's probably the one to happen at, because I think the experience that we have up there, defensive line wise, the quality of players that we have allows us to overcome that. And we've got a bunch of guys that can play multiple spots across the front. And I think that's going to be good for us too, defensively, in terms of being able to be multiple. So like anything else, do you want it to happen? No. But is there a silver lining in there as well? I believe so.
Coach, you guys lost some guys in that linebacker room, but
gained some pretty good ones as well. Can you talk about the leadership that Pop's bringing with his experience and just the linebacker room in general?
Yeah, when you talk about the linebacker room and you talk about experience and leadership, I think you've got to, specifically if you're talking inside linebacker, the first person you go to is De'Eric. And as long as De'Eric's been here and he understands our system, and he's been really good for Pop, in terms of being able to, essentially translate our defense, help him grow within. Because every time you change, systems, like you have to get adjusted, and what you don't want, is a really good player that is playing slow because he's thinking. We've got to get to the point where all the guys on defense that are playing, they sort of do it unconsciously, so they can play fast and they can just play ball like they know how. So, to have De'Eric there, obviously Pop's shown what he can do in this league and in college football in general. So excited to see that. Excited to see a guy like David Rayner continue his progression. I thought he got better each and every game throughout the year and was playing at a really good level for us last year. I think he's got more command of the system this year. You've got a guy like Alex Safari that can play inside now as well, and outside. So, he knows how to play sort of in that field apex, but he also has a lot of skill set that fits that inside backer position. So I feel good about that room. I feel good that we've got, solid old guys with a lot of reps in college football. And then you've got some young talent that, the future's bright in that room, that are going to be able to learn from those guys, fast, long, athletic guys. And so, which will also help on special teams.
Brad, what did you all like about Christian's story, and what are your expectations for him?
Yeah, well, what do we like about Christian? You've got a guy that's long, he's athletic, he knows how to play the safety position, he's played it in the SEC. Obviously, playing in a system like Alabama, that he knows how to adjust to a lot of different coverages, checks, run fits. So that's not going to be something that was going to overwhelm him, and it hasn't. So he's been able to, and personality-wise, he's come in and he fits with that room. Again, you talk about the inside backers on the previous question. The safeties is another group that you just feel really good about, in terms of having, Zion Childress, Jordan Lovett, Ty Bryant, Christian Story. Like, you got 4 guys that are SEC safeties. They've played and been really successful in SEC games. So again, it gives you the opportunity to be multiple, in what you do. And it also allows you to absorb, when an injury occurs within a game, or maybe it's a multiple game deal, you've got the ability to absorb that. Depth is always important, and to be able to have the ability within a game to keep guys fresh so that you don't wear out through a game, it's a huge advantage for us.
Coach, Ty Bryant from Frederick Douglass High School, how's his progression?
Really good. Yeah, I mean, and when we saw it last year, and I'll readily admit, I thought Ty played at a level that I didn't anticipate Ty playing as a true freshman. We knew he was a mature young man. We knew he was conscientious. We knew his work ethic, all the things that we loved about him. But to be able to step up in the moments that he stepped up in was huge. And it's a testament to him. It's a testament to his work ethic. He's taken another step, this spring. I think there's a confidence and command in his game. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's still really fast, so a guy that we're really, really excited about.
Brad, Mark mentioned playing more sticky coverage, cornerback. Just how do you feel about that group entering the season with obviously Max leading away?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, obviously, there are things that we have to do to continue to improve on defense, continue to adapt, sort of in the changing environment, and, being able to play some man-to-man, be able to get sticky, on those outside edges. Obviously, I think Max has he's had a really good offseason, put himself in good position, and I think we've got good competition opposite. But it's early in camp right now, obviously, so a lot to be seen. What I'm looking for is guys to be consistent. The nice thing is we have a lot of bodies that don't have to take all of the workload. We can distribute it across, with guys like Jansen Dunn and J.Q. Hardaway and Nasir Addison and DJ Waller. Like, you just think, and then you throw in true freshmen in there that have done really some good things throughout summer and the first 2 days of practice. So it's going to be a really, really good competitive room, and really excited to kind of see how it all shakes out, because that's the one position I don't know.
There were times last year the secondary was doing their job, right, but the front not getting enough pressure on the quarterback. The sacks numbers were low at times. So with the unit, that's going to be probably as good as anyone in the SEC in pass coverage. How important is it knowing if you get more pressure on the quarterback, it could certainly bring your defense to another level?
Yeah, we talk about it since I've been here. They all tie together, right? And it's fine. There were times last year that we would get sort of plenty of pressure. We would miss a sack. The South Carolina game jumps to mind, and we had 2 opportunities on the very first drive to get off the field on third down. One, we lost leverage in coverage, something that we shouldn't have done. It should have been off the field. We were walking into a sack. And then 2, we had a missed sack, which then led to a big third down conversion. So there were breakdowns on all sides last year at times, and that's why it's so important that they work together. Obviously, really excited about the front that we returned, because like anything else, I think interceptions, turnovers, sacks, a lot of times they come in bunches. It's just not always super consistent. But from a purely statistics, and that is what it is, like, this was the defensive line, and what they did last year was the second most sacks since I've been here, only behind the Josh Allen year, and it was the most tackles for loss that we had since I've been here. So, like, they were disruptive up front. Obviously, when we return all those guys this year, you need to keep that production going up front, and then you mix in, being able to play sticky stick your in coverage at times, being able to make some plays on the back end, and then when you have a chance to be at the quarterback, you've got to be able to finish.
You've got two kids in there, Silver and Walker, can play, can't they?
Yeah, we've got Silver, we've got Walker, we've got Oxendine, we've got Ripka. Obviously, I think everybody in this room understands the impact that Dion has on a football game. I think people don't necessarily realize how well guys like Keyshawn Silver, how well Trey Ripka played last year, how well Ox played, the jump from 2 years ago for Ox to last year, and then this year his weight's back up to where it was when he was before the injury, and as powerful as ever. You have Khalil Saunders, who makes plays, big plays for us, and he's big and athletic. And this is as good of a cumulative front, as we've had. And then you throw in young guys, and you throw in a guy like, Gerard Smith in there, and Kendrick Gilbert coming back off of injury, from last year, where he was sort of, one, he was a freshman, two, coming off a shoulder. He's stronger. He's already, made some flashes in some of these early practices. So you've got depth there. You can roll those guys. You can keep them fresh. So yeah, that's exciting. And then obviously, the position we haven't talked about is that, that outside linebacker position, and, to be able to return JJ, who, there are times that he can just dominate a game and he can take over. He understands that this is the year that he needs to do that consistently. It can't just be 1 or 2 games. We need that consistent force presence from him, and then we'll see, who can rush opposite him.
Hey, folks, I'm sorry, we've got to cut it off, get to our next
All right, go
All
Mike.
right, thank you.